Welcome to Tissot. The T-Touch Expert, a Tissot innovation in touchscreen technology, is the essential precision instrument for trekking, orienteering, and even mountain sport enthusiasts. An expert's watch for those looking for the ultimate time-measuring instrument that is more than a watch. It combines exclusive functions with instinctive ease of use with simple touchscreen operation. Now let's check out the world of T-Touch Expert. To begin, activate the screen by pressing the push button at 3 o'clock. A T symbol will start flashing on the digital display. The main functions are indicated around the dial: weather, altimeter, chronograph, compass, alarm, thermometer. To select one of these functions, touch the corresponding place on the screen. To activate one of the additional functions, for example the timer, touch the touch-sensitive area concerned again. To return to the standard data, just touch the central area of the touch-sensitive screen as shown here. The time, date and digital data can be set simply by pressing the plus and minus push buttons at 2 o'clock and 4 o'clock respectively. Activate the screen. Hold down the push button at 2 o'clock or 4 o'clock for 2 seconds. Make the setting. Confirm with the push button at 3 o'clock. It's possible to light up the digital display on the T-Touch Expert by holding down the push button at 3 o'clock for 2 seconds, as shown here. The light will stay on for 5 seconds. The T-Touch Expert is equipped with a perpetual calendar and a second time zone. The date is displayed by default. It's programmed until 2099. To bring up the time on the digital screen, touch the central touch-sensitive area. The time T displayed via the hands is indicated on the digital screen. The T2 display on the bottom of the screen means that the second time zone display is now active on the screen. To activate weather mode, touch the corresponding area. This function shows you the weather trend. If the weather trend is improving, the hands will turn to the right from 1 to 6 minutes. If the trend is deteriorating, the hands will turn to the left from -1 to -6 minutes. Relative atmospheric pressure, represented by the R symbol, is shown in hectopascal on the digital screen. Relative pressure is a value relative to sea level. It is this same value that is used by weather stations and shown on weather charts. Touch the screen again to select the absolute pressure reading. A symbol A will appear. Absolute atmospheric pressure is an actual value, which cannot be altered by the user. You can get an altitude reading in meters or feet using the altimeter function. The T-Touch Expert bases its data on atmospheric pressure. To put it simply, it measures the weight of air overhead, which is constantly varying. The higher the altitude, the more atmospheric pressure decreases. Since atmospheric pressure varies with the weather and altitude, it is necessary to calibrate your altimeter regularly in order to obtain the most accurate data possible. By touching the altimeter area again, you can obtain altitude difference data. The information below is displayed sequentially every 2 seconds. Elapsed time, total gain in altitude, vertical speed of ascent, total loss in altitude, speed of descent. Finally, back to elapsed or stopped time. To stop or start the altitude difference meter, press the 2 o'clock push button. Hold down the push button at 4 o'clock for 2 seconds to reset. With the chronograph function, you can measure a short time with an accuracy of 1/100th and also obtain cumulative and split time readings. Touch the chrono touch-sensitive area again to gain access to the timer function. Press the 2 o'clock push button to start the countdown. Then stop it. It can be reset using the 4 o'clock push button. Compass. Trekking and orienteering enthusiasts will be able to appreciate the accuracy of this function. The minute hand points to north. The digital screen displays the angle between the 12-6 o'clock axis and the minute hand. The advantage over an ordinary magnetic compass is that the T-Touch Expert can be calibrated to indicate true north, thereby enabling you to navigate even more accurately using a map. You can also use the rotating bezel for navigation. Hold the T-Touch Expert horizontally and as far as possible from metal or magnetic objects. To access azimuth mode, touch the compass touch-sensitive area again. The azimuth is the horizontal angle between the heading of an object and north. It is measured from north in degrees from 0 degrees to 359 degrees. This function can be used for navigation purposes, selecting a given heading angle. Hold your watch horizontally. On the digital screen, the arrows show which way to turn the watch to align yourself with the 12 to 6 o'clock axis. These two vertical arrows indicate that 12 o'clock is pointing to the azimuth heading. After exposure to a powerful magnetic field, your electronic compass may be out of sync. If so, you need to calibrate it. Select Calibration Mode, still in the compass menu, and hold down the push button at 2 o'clock for 2 seconds to start the process. Turn the watch on a horizontal surface at a rotation speed of around 30 degrees per second. After around 20 seconds, your compass will once more be perfectly calibrated. The alarm function is ideal as a wake-up call. The T-Touch Expert even lets you program a second reminder alarm if need be. To access the second alarm setting, touch the touch-sensitive area twice. Activate or deactivate the alarms using the central push button. A confirmation appears to the right of the alarm time set. With the thermometer function, the T-Touch Expert indicates the external temperature in degrees Celsius or degrees Fahrenheit. To avoid the measurement being influenced by body temperature, you should take off the watch about 15 minutes before measuring. The screen automatically deactivates after 15 seconds if the touch functions are not used. One exception. In compass and altitude difference meter mode, the screen deactivates after 30 seconds for ease of reading the information. To personalize the settings on your watch, select the option menu on the central touch-sensitive area of your T-Touch Expert, then confirm with the central push button. You can then select which units you prefer the digital data to be displayed in. Hold down the push button at 2 o'clock for 2 seconds. Choose the 24-hour or 12-hour reading mode. Then select units, meters and degrees Celsius or feet and degrees Fahrenheit. Confirm with the central push button. Touch the touchscreen again. You will note that the beep is activated. This can be eliminated or reactivated holding down the 2 o'clock push button for 2 seconds. Confirm with the central push button. Touch the screen again, and sleep mode will be automatically activated after a few seconds. Sleep mode economizes the battery of your T-Touch Expert. When the watch is in sleep mode, the digital screen switches off and the hands are set to noon. To reactivate your watch, simply press the crown. In sleep mode, the date and time count is not interrupted. With the setting of the hemisphere and climate zones still in the option menu, you can implement a more accurate calculation model and obtain optimum weather and altitude data. Hold down the push button at 2 o'clock for 2 seconds. Select the hemisphere you're in, and then your climate zone, as per the map shown in the user manual. By default, the standard atmosphere model is used. In other words, a temperature of 15 degrees Celsius and a mean sea level pressure of 1013.25 hectopascal. After incorrect operation, an impact or exposure to a magnetic field, the hands may no longer be showing the same time T as the digital screen. Or they may no longer be superimposed when using a function. Or in the compass function, they may no longer be aligned in the north-south axis. This means that your T-Touch is out of sync. No need to panic, you can simply synchronize it as follows. Select Units mode by touching the central touch-sensitive area. Hold down the push button at 3 o'clock for 5 seconds. The digital display will indicate Synchro. Set the hour hand to noon precisely, and then confirm with the central push button. Then set the minute hand to noon, and confirm. Although the T-Touch Expert is not designed for sports diving, it is water resistant to 100 meters, which means that you can take a shower or swim without taking the watch off your wrist. The T-Touch Expert push buttons must never be pressed underwater. The demonstration is over. Now you can set off on your adventures, equipped with your T-Touch Expert.